You wake up at 8 a.m. You check your phone for just 5 minutes. It's 8:47. You rush through breakfast. You tell yourself you'll study later. Classes go by. You're tired. You scroll TikTok. You open YouTube. You open Netflix. You open your notes. You close your notes. It's 11:36 p.m. And you're lying in bed thinking, why am I like this? Look, if you've ever had a day where you were busy all day but somehow accomplished absolutely nothing meaningful, that's not laziness. That's a broken system. And today we're fixing it. My name is Ethan, and I spend way too much time thinking about productivity, wealth building, and the psychology behind why smart people make terrible long-term decisions. If you're someone who constantly feels behind in school, stressed about money, and worried you're not building the future you want, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because here's the truth. 90% of students aren't failing because they're not intelligent. They're failing because they're running the wrong daily algorithm. And that algorithm is quietly costing them thousands of dollars in future income. The cost of a wasted day, the math nobody talks about. Here's what most people don't realize. Your study habits today are directly tied to your earning potential tomorrow. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median weekly earnings for someone with a bachelor's degree is about $1,493 per week. For someone with only a high school diploma, it's around $899 per week. That's roughly a $594 weekly difference. Multiply that by 52 weeks. That's about $30,888 per year. Over a 40-year career? That's over $1.2 million in lifetime earnings difference. Now, I'm not saying a degree guarantees wealth. But here's the thing. Discipline compounds. Skills compound. Reputation compounds. And wasted days compound too. One wasted day doesn't feel expensive. But 200 wasted days per year for 4 years? That's 800 days. That's over 2 full years of productive life, gone. This is where it gets really interesting. The problem isn't effort. The problem is structure. So let's break down the 7-step study reset that flips everything. Step 1. Stop starting your day with dopamine. Look, I'm going to challenge you right away. The first 30 minutes of your day decide the next 12 hours. According to research from the American Psychological Association, frequent task switching and digital interruptions reduce productivity by up to 40%. When you wake up and immediately scroll, your brain gets a flood of cheap dopamine. That's like eating dessert before breakfast. Now your textbook feels boring. Your homework feels painful. Your brain says, where's the stimulation? And here's what most people don't realize. Motivation is chemical. If you spike dopamine early, everything else feels dull. Action step. No phone for the first 30 minutes. Drink water. Move your body. Review your top 3 priorities for the day. You're training your brain to earn dopamine, not borrow it. Step 2. Use the $10,000 rule. Now you might be thinking, Ethan, I'm just trying to pass biology. No, you're building a $10,000 skill. Here's what I mean. If mastering a concept today increases your earning power by even $5,000 per year in the future, and you work for 30 years, that one skill could be worth $150,000. But students treat studying like it's worth $0. Reframe it. Ask yourself, if this chapter was worth $10,000, how would I study it? Suddenly, distractions feel expensive. Because they are. Step 3. Study in 90-minute wealth blocks. Research from Stanford shows that most people can sustain deep focus for about 60 to 90 minutes before performance declines. Yet most students study for 4 hours while multitasking. That's fake studying. Feels productive. It isn't. Here's the reset. 90 minutes deep work. Phone in another room. One clear objective. 15 to 20-minute break. 2 of these blocks per day. That's 3 hours of true focus. 3 real hours beats 8 distracted ones. Think of it like investing. Would you rather invest $100 of real money or $500 of monopoly money? Exactly. Step 4. Track output, not time. This is where students completely mess up. They measure hours. Successful people measure output. Instead of saying, I studied for 3 hours, say, I completed 40 practice problems. I summarized 2 chapters. I memorized 25 flashcards. Now your brain sees progress. Progress builds momentum. Momentum builds identity. Identity builds discipline. And discipline builds income. Step 5. Kill the later lie. Here's the psychology part. Behavioral economists call this present bias. We overvalue immediate comfort and undervalue future rewards. It's why people don't invest early. It's why people don't save money. It's why students procrastinate. Your brain discounts the future version of you. But that future version of you is the one paying rent. So try this. If a task takes less than 5 minutes, do it immediately. If it takes longer, schedule it within 24 hours. Never say later. Later is where goals go to die. Step 6. Build a daily minimum standard. Here's what most people don't realize. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need a perfect 12-hour grind day. You need a non-negotiable minimum. For example, 2 deep work blocks, 30 minutes review, no phone before noon, 10 minutes planning tomorrow. That's it. Even on bad days you hit the minimum. And over 365 days? That's over 700 focused study sessions. Compound that over 4 years. You become dangerous. Step 7. Tie studying to your financial future. This is where it gets really interesting. Most students study to avoid bad grades. That's weak motivation. Instead, connect studying to lifestyle freedom. Let's do some math. If disciplined habits today increase your future income by even $15,000 annually, and you invest that difference at a 7% return for 30 years, that could grow to over $1.5 million. One habit shift. One trajectory change. $1 million impact. That's not dramatic. That's math. Why 90% fail? Now let's zoom out. Why do 90% of students waste their day? Because they chase stimulation. They don't understand compounding. They confuse effort with structure. They optimize for comfort, not outcomes. And look, I get slightly frustrated because this isn't about intelligence. It's about systems. You wouldn't invest randomly and expect wealth. So why approach your time randomly and expect success? Time is your first currency. Money is your second. Final reset. If you implement just this: no phone first 30 minutes. 2 90-minute deep work blocks. Track output, not time. Build a daily minimum standard. You're already ahead of most students. And here's the powerful part. Discipline in school turns into discipline in money. Discipline in money turns into freedom. Freedom turns into options. Options turn into peace. Closing motivation. You don't need to become a productivity robot. You just need to stop leaking potential. Every day you reset, you separate yourself from the 90%. And 5 years from now, the gap won't be small. It'll be massive. If this helped you rethink how you use your time, subscribe to Growth Success Path. Because we don't just talk about making money here. We talk about becoming the person who deserves it. I'll see you in the next one.